Welcome back to the vlog. I feel like it's been a while since we've had a normal course vlog where I just talk through my rounds, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. We're out here at the West Course at TPC KL and we've got a 7:58 tee time today. So if you've noticed, I've been playing a lot more in the morning, and that's because it's monsoon season here in Malaysia and in most of Southeast Asia, which means usually towards the evenings and the nights it has been raining a lot, and also sometimes in the afternoon. So we try to get our rounds out as early as possible to avoid the rain and to get 18 holes in. So with that tee shot, let's get started. I pushed my tee shot a little bit, so as you can see I'm on the right side here, but it is not too bad. I have a decent lie and approach into the green, although that tree in front of me is blocking my view. So I am taking more club here because I am in the rough and I'm hitting a hybrid here, even though it's only about 165 yards with the rough, and because it is pretty uphill, I know that it's not going to fly as far. And if you could tell as well, there's quite a lot of dew on the ground. It's still pretty wet. As I said, it has been raining, so we do want to take more club. And as you can already see here, I am actually aiming a little bit too far right. And unfortunately, I hit a good shot, but it just started a little bit right, so it clipped that tree there. But it was not too bad. I still ended up in front of the green. Obviously not on the green as it would have been if I did not hit the tree. But as we could have seen, that was just a bit of an error in aiming. And that is something that I'm working on as well. As I mentioned before in a few of the course vlogs, I've had a bit of a tendency to aim a little bit right, and that is definitely something that I'm working on. And if you've had aiming problems, you would know that fixing aiming problems isn't very easy, because to me, I feel like I'm aiming straight. But especially with the help of the videos, I can really see how far right I'm aiming compared to where I actually want to aim. So this is something that I am definitely working on. So here we have hole 2, which is a par 4. After making an up and down par in the first hole, let's try to get this one on the fairway.
Straight down the middle to the left of the bunker, right where she aimed.
So after a decent tee shot here, I still got a pretty long ways to go. The pin is in front today, so I needed to carry the entire 170 yards or 174 yards that it's playing. And I have a 5 iron here. And as if you could see from the beginning, this hole is over 400 yards. Even though it is downhill, it's definitely a long hole. So setting the right expectations is definitely important. This pin position is pretty difficult. And as I mentioned on the first hole, aiming is definitely something I'm working on. And look how far right I'm aiming here. I definitely start paying more attention to this later on, but especially with the first 3 holes, After hitting those shots and watching myself in videos, I knew that I was definitely aiming too far right, so I did continue working on that throughout the round. Because I hit it right, I actually hit it to a very difficult position. As you can see, I had to fly this bunker. I was sitting in the rough, so I definitely had a small landing area, but I'm hitting a 58-degree wedge here and just trying to make sure that I landed on a good spot. First goal is of course to carry the bunker, and I did that pretty well. Left myself with about a little 6-7 footer for par, which I'm definitely taking because that was not an easy chip as I mentioned. So this was the putt that I had for par.
Oh my god, that's cool.
And a good putt, but did not go in the hole. That happens sometimes. What can we do about it, right? That's golf. Let's move on to the third hole, which is a par 5. Today the tee box is in front, so I am hitting a 3-wood here. If you've watched me play this course, you would know that I kind of vary this hole depending on the tee box. I can go between a driver all the way up to a 5-wood, really depending. And one of the main reasons why is really because this is not a 2-on par 5. If I was playing from the white tee box, that would be a different story, but from the blue and further back, it is definitely not a 2-on par 5 for me. So honestly, I can really hit whatever club I want off the tee box. Really, it's just to get it out there in play. And I've said this before, your tee shot is a layup for your second shot. So you really just want to hit a shot that's going to get it out there in play. As you can see, I'm about 1 yard from the fairway, so it really wasn't a bad shot. Unfortunately though, because I am downhill, which you can't really see, but you can see from my feet, I hit almost like a stinger. It went so low, but this was a layup shot again with a 3-wood. So I still set myself up on the fairway, even though it was obviously a lot further than it should have been because of the shot that I hit. I had about 135 yards left to the green. But at the same time, 135 yards, because it is playing uphill, so I'm playing 135 yards carry. So I am hitting an 8-iron here, but an 8-iron is still a short club. Even though I did not hit a perfect tee shot, I did not hit a good second shot, I am still setting myself up for the 3-on par 5 that this is. So for this third shot, I hit an 8-iron as I mentioned, and I hit a pretty good shot there, as you can see, eyeing it down, and I left myself with about a 9-footer left for birdie.
Nice. Great putt, great pitch.
Thank you.
Did you hit par?
Yes.
Nice.
He lives here.
Sorry. You do. Birdie, right?
Yeah.
Yes!
So after a nice birdie, we've got a par 3 here, which is par 3 hole 4, playing 137 yards. This hole is uphill as well, so we definitely do want to play more. But you do need to make sure your distance is good here, because being over here is not a good idea either. So I've got an 8-iron here, just hitting a soft 8-iron, not a full-fledged one, just to make sure I'm on the right tier of the screen. And as you can see, I'm really trying to pay attention to my aiming, but I am still aiming right on this hole. And as I said, it's just something tough that I'm going to have to work on. I'm doing a lot of alignment stick work on the range, and that's really something that, it's a process, right? You have to work through it. There's no substitute for the practice. You have to retrain your eye, which is the hardest part. So it's definitely something I'm working on. It's a work in progress, but just got to take it one day at a time. After that, I had this putt for birdie, slightly off the green, but not too bad of a position, and I just left it really, really low there. I did not think it was going to break as much as it did, but clearly it was a pretty big breaker, and got about a 3-footer left for par, tapped it in, and let's move on to the next hole. Hole 5, par 5. So for this tee shot, I really just tried to aim it towards the right side of this fairway. You can't see it from this view obviously, but the left side is pretty much dead, so you do have tons of space right, and because I play a draw, the right bunker is just a perfect aim for me. So I hit a decent shot there and left myself here just short of that bunker, And this hole is pretty much a layup hole unless you get it over that little, basically that little hill, just right past that bunker. Then you legit will gain like 30 yards because it's just straight downhill from there. So the difference here between the tee box being a full-fledged blue and like a front blue is a huge difference, because that's really the difference between going for this green and laying up. But clearly today it is a layup hole for me. I'm just hitting an 8-iron there for the layup shot, just getting it out there to a good distance. And after that layup, I had 84 yards left to the pin, which is a pretty good distance. I would have actually preferred it to be a little bit further, rather something like 90 yards. But it is 84 yards, so I'm just hitting a half 52-degree wedge here. I didn't hit the best shot. It was a decent shot. It's just that I opened the face a little bit, so it went right rather than at the pin. But it really wasn't that bad of a shot. I still had a putt for birdie. It just did not go where I was really aiming it to go. So I had bought this 18-footer for birdie, which is, it's still a birdie putt. Of course, with a 52-degree wedge in hand, I would have much liked to hit it closer. And especially because I knew like when I hit it, I could feel like the face was open. So obviously, it's just one of those things, like, it's being a perfectionist, like wanting to hit perfect shots all the time. But as I've said again, it's golf. You're never going to hit perfect shots all the time. It's rare to even hit 5 perfect shots in a round. So you just really got to take what you get and try to do the best you can.
Oh my God.
And unfortunately, I just left that maybe 2 rolls too short, and that's why it ended up not reaching the hole. But you guessed it, a tap-in par. So let's move on to the next hole. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you guys have been wondering why there are no shot traces during this round, I actually downloaded a camera app that helps me record throughout the round because I don't have to worry about overheating like the iPhone camera app often does. But for some reason, when I take videos on this app, shot tracer does not work. So I don't really understand why. In fact, this app is supposed to have better camera quality than the iPhone camera app. And I paid money for this app, so I don't understand why the shot tracer does not work on this. So I'm really sorry about that. I hope you guys understand. It's really like trying to find the best of both worlds. I need to find a way to record without overheating. But then when I do that, I can't get shot tracers. So I'm really sorry, guys. Please bear with me. I hope I try to find a way to fix this. I don't really know what I can do. But if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. It's called Filmic Pro. And I don't know why shot tracers doesn't show up. So yeah. Anyway, this is the second shot on hole 6. I have 164 yards, but because this green is elevated and you really cannot hit anything short here, and for some reason it always seems to play longer, and I don't know why it does that, but yeah, maybe it's just a lot more uphill than we think. And especially also because I think it goes downhill and then uphill, you kind of tend to not consider the uphill as much. And I actually hit a good shot there, but again, I think I was just aimed a little right, and that's really like my most common miss on this hole. I'm always in that little gully on the right side there, and as you will be able to see, I am here again. So I really need to work on my aiming. I know it's something that I'm working on. Trust me, I'm really trying. But yeah, anyway, this was my chip shot from the side of the green. I really did not hit a bad shot. It just did not spin or stop as much as I thought it was going to. So I was definitely left with a much longer putt than I thought I was going to have. And it is definitely not ideal, but it is what it is. This was about a 12-footer for par. And unfortunately, I just did not read the break. I thought it wasn't going to break that much, but clearly it did. So a bogey there on the 6th hole. And we'll move on to hole 7 with that. And hole 7 is another par 4. And I honestly made a mental error here. On the tee box, I was really thinking that I needed to make sure that I hit that really small spot out there, when in fact, I really should have just been picking a good target and just going for it rather than thinking of where I do and do not want to go. So I kind of turned the club face over, and that resulted in it being in the bunker, which is, I mean, it's not a penalty, but it's definitely not ideal. And as you can see, the lip of the bunker is pretty high as well. I am hitting an 8 iron here. It is most very likely not enough club, especially in the bunker that you do need to take more club because you are kind of just picking it up. You're not really hitting at it as hard. At least that's what I tend to do. I tend to take a smoother swing. And the main goal obviously is to make sure it gets out of the bunker. So I knew that the 8 iron wasn't going to be enough, but I knew that the 7 iron would be cutting it pretty close with the top of the bunker. So I did decide to go with an 8 iron here. And as I think you can hear, I also caught it a bit heavy. So I ended up short of the green and short of the bunker that are short of the green. So this is the lie that I had. Clearly it's not ideal. You can't even see my ball. It was pretty thick in the rough. If you can see the way when I put my club down, it is pretty deep in the rough. So the problem here as well is the pin is far behind. You do need to carry some slope. So hitting a high shot really was going to be very difficult. So what I really tried to do here was open the club face, put the weight forward, ball a little bit back in the stance, and just kind of stump it up there and let it roll up. And I actually hit a pretty good chip from where I was. So after that chip, I had this 12-footer for par. You can't really see it here, but my first goal was to make sure I'm on the same level as the flag stick, which I am. So I definitely left myself in a good position, but you can't make every 12-footer. And to be honest, I really did not see the line here. It definitely broke in the opposite direction. I did not think it was going left to right, but it did. So it's a bogey here. So, it is what it is. I feel like that's the theme of the day, but really sometimes you just gotta understand it really is what it is. Like, what can you do about it? Golf is hard. You're not gonna make everything. The sooner you understand that, the better you're gonna play and the less stress you're gonna have. So at this point, I've just made 2 bogeys, and there is nothing worse than trying to force a birdie. So over here, obviously I'm always thinking about hitting a good shot, about hitting it close to the pin. But as I just said, you really cannot try to force a birdie. The more you try to force a birdie, the bigger the numbers are going to come in, the worse scores you're going to get. Really what you want to do is just wait for the birdies to come. If they don't come, they don't come. But the more you try to force it, the worse it's going to get, the more stressful golf is going to be. Let's just have some fun, guys. Let's not take golf too seriously. At the end of the day, a score is just a score. As you can see here, I put myself in a good position. I hit a good 6 iron to the green. I still have about a 15-footer here. And this is my putt for birdie. It is downhill and a little bit left to right. And really all I can do here is hit a good stroke, which is what I did. And it did not fall. Is that annoying? Yes, of course it is. But then again, as I just said, a score is just a score, Sometimes the putts will fall, sometimes it won't. It just really depends on luck as well. There is a percentage of golf that relies on luck. So, don't be so hard on yourself. It is what it is. And we have reached hole 9, a par 4, hitting a driver off the tee. And here is my tee shot. A beautiful pull to the left. A terrible shot. But as I just said, golf relies on luck as well. That could have easily hit the cart path and gone OB. But I carried the cart path by about 5 yards, and now I am still on grass and still having an opportunity to go for the green. So, how much of golf relies on luck? Honestly, a big percentage, because nobody wins a tournament without luck. Nobody shoots a good score without a little bit of luck. There's so much grass in between us, the ball, the hole. Just think about it. How many things can stop your ball from going in the hole? It's quite crazy, So there's so many things that we can't control. Honestly, as I said, the theme of today, it is what it is. We sometimes get so annoyed over golf for no apparent reason. There's so many things we can't control. Sometimes you just gotta take it as it is. One day at a time, one shot at a time, just like we're taking life, right? One day at a time, one shot at a time, living in this pandemic that we are today. We don't know what tomorrow brings. All we can do is live our life, try to be safe, try to be healthy, be happy. There's so many things to be thankful for. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. This is just a simple 9-hole vlog. If you guys are interested to see how I do in the back 9, keep watching. I will just show you a shot by shot, because I am working through a lot of things right now, and I do want to see where my game progresses. So I will continue making this vlogs for you guys, which I hope you guys continue watching and continue enjoying. I hope you guys stay through this 9 holes. It's gonna be a quick one. You're gonna see shot by shot. Tell me if you stay through it and tell me if you know why they shot this round. You guys are the best. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and I hope you guys shoot the best rounds of your life in your next round. And if you do, please comment down below that you did. See you guys in the next one.
Fine. Wow, well done.
Birdie, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Cruise again.
Comfort level 0.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you
It's
very
been a
much.
pleasure. Thanks, Jan.